Hello everybody, don't call me Ryan, and welcome back to another mod review. And today I'm going to be reviewing the Elemental Creepers mod for version 1.7.10. And in this mod it has a bunch of different creepers that can spawn throughout your world, and each of them having a different unique explosion, some more deadlier than the others. But ultimately they are just around here just to either cause you chaos or some fun. And first we have the Fire Creeper, and the Fire Creeper is pretty self-explanatory. It just spreads fire when it explodes. Kind of like a creeper pattern, but just bright orange, so kind of easy to tell if this is a Fire Creeper. And the one next to it, which is the opposite, the Water Creeper. And this guy, well, he just spawns water everywhere, and it's also pretty easy to tell what he looks like with this nice blue color. And by the way, when these guys explode, not all of them will hurt you when they blow up. The Fire Creeper, for instance, will blow up and spread fire everywhere, but the explosion won't actually damage you, as well as the water and this guy next, which is the Electric Creeper. And the Electric Creeper spawns a bolt of lightning right where you're standing, but again, his explosion doesn't necessarily hurt you. It's mainly the explosion of lightning that hurts you. And after that is the Cookie Creeper, and the Cookie Creeper is, well, a cookie creeper, as in he blows up and spawns cookies everywhere. Well, not many, but he just spawns cookies. And he kind of looks like this. He kind of looks like a cookie with little chocolate chips in him. And he could be easily mistaken with the Fire Creeper because they kind of have that have that orange color between the two. But yeah, this is the Cookie Creeper. And after these basic ones over here, we're gonna get over to some more fun stuff. This is the Dark Creeper, and the Dark Creeper has another really tame explosion. All it does is any light source that you have, when this guy blows up, he will break them. It drops whatever item or block it is, but he just destroys any sort of light source, so lava, glowstone, redstone lamps, torches, he'll break them. And also, I put this little block barrier above him because in the daytime he will burn up like a zombie, because I mean he can't really put out the sun. I mean, he can try, but yeah, that's about all he can really do. And the kind of opposite of him would be the Light Creeper. And the Light Creeper, whenever he explodes, he puts a bunch of glowstone everywhere. So yeah, he's kind of yellow. He kind of looks like the Electric Creeper, but is a little more white tinted. But when this guy explodes, he just puts glowstone everywhere. So very tame explosion and just brightens the place up. And kind of I should have put you over there with those four main elements, but this is the Earth Creeper, and he kind of looks like a grass block with his brown lower body and then the green on top. He looks like a grass block. And speaking of grass blocks, or mainly dirt blocks, that's what happens when this guy explodes. He just puts a bunch of dirt blocks everywhere. Kind of like the Light Creeper, but instead of it being glowstone, it's just dirt. Up next is the Magma Creeper, and this guy, I had to put him in a little special containment area because whenever he walks around, he trails fire everywhere he goes, and whenever he trails fire, it breaks the blocks that he walks through. So like the fences would be catching on fire and he would break them and everything would just get out of hand. But essentially, just like the Water Creeper, this guy explodes lava everywhere, and I do not believe he spawns in the overworld. I believe he only spawns in the nether. And again, when he explodes, he just puts a bunch of lava everywhere. So just be careful when you get near this guy, because not only does his fire kind of hurt when he walks around, his lava would probably not be fun, especially in the nether. Kind of getting over to some weird creepers over here is the Reverse Creeper, and it may look like a normal creeper at first, but this guy's head is upside down, which I think is kind of funny. And what this guy does is whatever explosion a normal creeper would, just imagine instead of putting a hole in the ground, he flips that explosion upside down onto you. So you just have a nice little sphere of land just upside down. And you might want to be a little weary of this guy because he does have a chance to suffocate you with the blocks he teleports on top of you, but otherwise he just looks weird. Up next is the Ice Creeper, and same with the Magma Creeper. I had to put him in this little special area because when he walks around, he trails snow instead of lava. But again, when he walks, he breaks these fences, and it just got out of hand, so I had to put him in here. But essentially what the Ice Creeper does is he explodes snow, ice, he just freezes everything. as in lava becomes obsidian, water becomes ice, and then there's just a bunch of snow everywhere. But another tame explosion, so not really to fear these guys that much. And up next is the Psychic Creeper, and essentially what this guy does is whenever you get near him, he will blow up, but depending on how close you are to him will determine how bad the explosion is. For instance, if you get too close to him and he blows up, he will launch you into the air really high and you will fall down and probably die of fall damage. But if you're a little far away from him before he explodes, you will be fine. And you can kind of tell what he looks like with this nice little purple color. It's kind of cool looking. And kind of another weird one that's kind of focused on being kind of visually weird is the Illusion Creeper. And this guy is pretty grayish and white. And essentially his explosion is kind of freaky. He will split into about 7 copies of himself, and you have to pretty much find who the real one is before he explodes. And what's kind of weird is when you attack the clones, they will instantly just puff away, and they will not do any sort of like explosional damage. It's only when the real one gets to you is when it actually blows up into a big hole. And kind of getting into another kind of weird, wacky one is the Spider Creeper. And the Spider Creeper is kind of hard to miss. I mean, it looks like if a spider and a creeper was mixed together. I mean, it has 8 legs and has the face of a creeper and a spider. I had to put him in this little box right here because he can climb walls just like a normal spider. So yeah, this guy can climb, he acts like a normal spider, and his explosion doesn't break blocks, it instead spawns a ton of cobwebs around you. So not really that bad of an explosion, but it is kind of annoying if you're trying to get away from like some zombies and skeletons, and this guy explodes with a bunch of cobwebs everywhere. But yeah. Alright, up next is the Wind Creeper, and this guy is kind of hard to determine from normal creepers, but once you get close to him you'll realize that it is not a normal creeper, as he is very fast. He runs really quickly, but his explosion isn't even that bad, as in when he explodes he just pushes you in one direction, and usually it's not that bad. You may take a little bit of fall damage, but not really that bad. And the more kind of lethal explosional creeper is the Hydrogen Creeper, and this guy literally just looks like a nuke. I mean, he even has the atomic logo on his chest, and as you would expect, this guy has a really big and really deadly explosion. Whenever you see this guy, you would probably want to get away from him before he blows up your whole world. And another weird one is the Stone Creeper, and from all I know, all he does is he just spawns a bunch of stone everywhere, like stone blocks that are pick-upable. But yeah, and he just is gray, not really that unique in a sense. He's just a gray creeper, kind of like those other ones over there, but yeah, all he does is just drop stone, so yeah. And kind of after this guy, we have the Ender Creeper, and I had to put him in a box right here because every time I had to put him in this little area here, he would just teleport away just like an Enderman. But this is what he looks like. He looks kind of like an Enderman, kind of cool. I like the black, but essentially this guy is just a normal everyday creeper, but he can pretty much teleport around. So whenever you see this guy, I'll probably try to stay away from him because he will teleport and track you down pretty much until he gets to you and blows up like a normal creeper would. And up next is the Solar Creeper, and this guy is kind of unique as he has the color of a electric creeper, or I think it's a light creeper tint. But what this guy does is, with his little goofy helmet on, if it's daytime, he will absorb the solar rays into his helmet, and that will determine how big his explosion is. So if it's in the day, he'll have a really big explosion, and if it's night, it'll probably be very small and not that big at all. And after that guy over there, we have the Cake Creeper, and kind of just like the Cookie Creeper over there, instead of dropping a cookie, this guy drops cakes, or a cake with some torches around it. And I guess you could just kind of determine what this guy looks like. He's pretty orange with some white on his head, so if you ever see this guy and need some food, he would be able to provide a full cake for you, and he kind of looks kind of cool. This is the Firework Creeper, and he looks very weird with all these different like pixels on him, and his face looks weird. But essentially what this guy does is he will explode and shoot up into the sky as a firework, and if there's anything near him, like a player or like mob, he will shoot them up into the sky too. But apart from that, his explosion doesn't really hurt as long as you don't fall too far, but as in, he's just kind of cool to watch, and his firework will always be a creeper firework. And almost second to last, we have the spring creeper, and he looks very red or pink, very pinkish red, I'd say. But what this guy does is whenever you get near him and he blows up, he shoots himself into the sky and falls back down and explodes like a normal creeper. But apart from that, he's pretty easy to get away from as long as you don't stand in one place while he's exploding. But apart from that, that's kind of all he does. I mean, it's kind of neat once you see it. Kind of getting over here to this guy, this is the friendly creeper, and these guys will spawn throughout your world pretty commonly, as in they're very easy to find. They only have 4 hearts, and you can actually tame these with some gunpowder. So if you ever find a friendly creeper running around, you would just try to tame it like a dog, and eventually he'll be tamed and he has more hearts and even has a little heart in his little chest, and it looks kind of cute. And what these guys do is once you tame them, they'll follow you around pretty much forever, and if there's any hostile mob, he will explode. And the explosion does not break any blocks, it only damages. But yeah, this guy pretty much can defend you, and I think I'm going to give you a name. I'm going to call you Jenny. Jenny the friendly creeper. Oh, sorry, shoot. If you actually end up killing an elemental creeper, oh, come on. Chance, there, right there. If you kill an elemental creeper, there is a chance for it to become a ghost. It becomes a ghost creeper, and it essentially just is a normal creeper, but it is a ghost. When it explodes, it does not break blocks. Instead, it just blows up and does damage, but it's essentially like a creeper's last stand before it actually dies. So I'll just kill that, and just a bit ago, Jenny teleported to me and blew them up. So here, Jenny, can you help right here? Get him. So yeah, there you go. Whenever Jenny is near a hostile mob, it will explode. Thank you, Jenny. You can just sit right there for now. But we're just gonna go over here and show off the last creeper, the big bad creep, or creeper. And this is just a giant creeper. It's fast, for one, and when he explodes, he shoots off a ton of different type of elemental creepers out. It can be just from normal everyday creepers to like maybe a hydrogen creeper or maybe a ice creeper or whatever. But that's all he blows up to do, and he has 150 HP, so you better watch out once you see him, because if you don't want to deal with elemental creepers, this guy is not your fan. Anyways guys, I hope you all enjoyed this little mod review video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, leave a like, and if you didn't, don't. It's okay. And if you like my content, please leave a subscribe. It means a lot if you do, as well as leaving some feedback in the comments below. I'm always wanting to improve my work. And if there's any mod you would like me to look at, just let me know in the comments and I'll look into it. And that's about it. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.